George, it looks like we're live again.
I'm glad you're back and over whatever you had.
Yeah, happy 2024. I would have loved to have made a video with you last week.
But
what was coming out of my body the last week of the year and the first week of the year, you didn't want to be around me. And I got to tell you, whatever this is, and I've been talking to people, I guess the infection itself, it kind of goes away, but the remnants stay for a little bit. I'm still having some kind of a sinus strain, and it's causing a throat irritation.
the patient that left, I believe, had the same thing that you had,
Yeah.
and she went to emergency actually.
Wow.
And she was telling me that they tested her for COVID, which she didn't have, for RSV, which she didn't have, for the flu, and a number of other things. She didn't have any of that, which means she just had the common cold, but this common cold was not so common.
It was a persistent bugger, and it still is, because I'm still not 100%.
So my patient, much like you, is still coughing because she still has residual effects from the cold, and her ribs were out from coughing so much.
Well, hopefully you'll check me when we're done with this, because I have a feeling my rib might be out as well.
Well, I said to her, what you got to do is stop coughing, and then when I adjust your ribs, they'll actually stabilize and stay in.
There you go. Hey, now that's a secret for you guys out there. If you don't have a good chiropractor and those ribs are out, you're just going to keep manifesting and
a quick test to give you an idea, a self-test, if your ribs from coughing or sneezing or whatever the case may be are out, so to speak, is it affects your breathing. So if you walk up steps or down steps and you notice your breathing is compromised, well, guess what? You need to go to your local chiropractor and get your ribs adjusted.
And funny you say that, because my Fitbit, when I looked at my breathing, some nights the breathing was off. I didn't get proper credit for my normal breathing rhythm.
Well, today we're talking about goals for 2024, and you brought up your Fitbit, and I'm wearing a Fitbit.
Yeah.
And let's start the day off. I'm going to make a recommendation. If you go on Amazon, there are a number of Fitbits similar to the one that Bob and I are wearing that you can get on Amazon at a fairly reasonable price. I got a good friend of mine, I'm going to give a shout out to him, Gary Tapler, who fixed some of my chiropractic equipment. He used to fix equipment for Merck Sharp and Dome.
Oh, cool.
And Gary needed some of my advice and expertise. So part of that was I found a Fitbit for him so he could monitor his blood pressure, among other things.
Right.
And Gary was really happy. It's very similar to what I got, which they don't make anymore, but I got him a new updated version of this, which probably works really well.
Right.
I really like this one because it functions well, and it gives you a lot of conditions to monitor, like your blood pressure, your pulse, your blood oxygen.
Yeah,
it'll even do an ECG, and you can look at that. It monitors your sleep, and it'll tell you like your deep sleep,
REM sleep.
Right, and it'll also your REM sleep
And your awake time.
Your awake time. And then, in fact, they'll even go and tell you, like, for instance, I'm like 68 years old, and I sleep better than 69% of the population.
That's great, because I got to tell you, during this illness,
Of my age.
I had a restful night, followed by a not good night. There was no consistency.
Well, for me, being in the top 31%, I was in the top 31% for my age group, tells me that I'm doing a lot of things right.
Yeah.
And some of the things I do is some of the supplements I take. Like I take ashwagandha, for instance, which helps relax you.
Right.
So melatonin is another supplement I take that I just start taking ever since our last video, when I gave myself an anxiety attack.
Oh no.
And B complex from Anabolic Labs and Tri-B-plex from Anabolic Labs. So those are some supplement suggestions that you can do to kind of calm yourself down. But the first step, we're talking about, goals for 2024 that I would suggest to everybody watching this video is go on Amazon and get yourself a Fitbit.
Yeah, and equally important, what is it that you want to accomplish? You need to have a vision of what you want to accomplish before you can even set goals, because if you don't know what it is you want to accomplish, how can you set the goals in little micro steps in order to accomplish it? By the way, I started a 30-day challenge today.
I saw that.
I'm in day 1, and so far we're on target with the drinking and the eating. I slept okay. I took a photo on the scale of my toes to the scale, so there's no cheating. 129 pounds. 130 is my ultimate goal. Throughout the year, I want to maintain 130, so we're in the ballpark.
Whatever goals you may have, a good idea would be to write down that goal, and that would be step 1, whatever that might be.
Sure.
If you want to lose weight, if you're a woman and you want to be more toned or lose weight, or if you want to be more active, have more energy, combination of all that, have a better lifestyle, whatever it is, write that down. Then the next thing you got to do is formulate a plan. How are you going to attain those goals? Write those steps down, one at a time. And ironically, over the holidays,
right,
I was watching a movie on the Hallmark Channel, and it was called, My List. And it was a list created by a woman of how she wanted to change her life.
Okay.
And she laminated it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, she didn't laminate it. She put it on a type of paper that makes it seem like it's laminated.
Got it.
And she had all of the items, the steps all down there. Like one of the things she wanted to do was take up running.
Okay.
And she ended up practicing for a 5K race, which in the movie she won.
Uh-huh.
And she had a coach, a male.
There you go. You hit another important thing. Team up with others that are like-minded.
That can help you attain that goal. And this coach coached her, and not only did she take up running, but she ran in the 5K and actually won it in the movie.
Yeah.
It was a great Hallmark movie, but the point to all of this is she had a goal, and she described what she wanted to do and what she wanted to be. She wrote down the steps that she needed to take in order to be that person that she had in mind.
Okay.
And then she went out and got a coach to help her attain that goal.
So, key lesson to take away, have an accountability partner.
And she was accountable to him. But more importantly, when you get a coach, whatever it is you may want to attain, you need someone that can help you attain it. So if you get a coach, if you want to lose weight and live your best lifestyle and be healthier, better immunity, better digestion, more energy, whatever all that combination is, better hair because you're eating better and taking supplements.
Better nails too.
Better nails, that's right. And better skin.
Sure.
And whatever it is, find someone like Bob and I that can help you attain that goal. And the advantage to Bob and I is because of our experience with nutrition and coaching and lifestyle, if that's the goal that you have, you need to seek out someone like Bob or I.
And if you sneeze too hard,
And you need a chiropractor.
And you're fighting off that cold that's going around, keep in mind a good chiropractor to help get those rib heads straightened out the right way.
And not only that, I could make some suggestions nutritionally, like zinc, which would go a long way in helping you get over that particular common cold that's not so common. And here's another very good product, Thymos, which will help, boost your immunity, help your body fight that off.
Yeah, it's a little bit of elderberry with zinc, and these zinc lozenges have 100 milligrams of vitamin C, and unlike the stuff that you find in the stores, they actually taste good, which means you're going to take them, and if you're not taking them, what good are they?
So when that does occur, when you get the not so common cold, there are a lot of things you can do besides these supplements. You could take
Vitamin D, C.
Vitamin D, vitamin E. You could take a supplement that's an herbal, andrographics. You could take elderberry. You could eat blueberries, vitamin C, and once again, the way to take vitamin C, you got to take both the natural and the synthetic, because you need a whole C in order to do what you need to do or have vitamin C do to fight that off.
But more importantly, work on that healthy mind and that healthy body. Fuel your mouth with good quality nutrition, so that when you do get something like that took over my body, that cold, it doesn't put you out and into the hospital. At least you're able to manage it and get over it.
And if you read work by Linus Pauling, who did a lot of research on vitamin C, you would really understand what the reference I just made about whole C having both the synthetic and artificial. What that has to do with, even though we're an animal, we cannot synthesize vitamin C, but animals can. So we can synthesize it in the lab, not in our bodies.
Right.
So, and we much like the animals, can eat the natural C, so that is a product of what you need to do. But there are a lot of other products, like you could take echinacea would be another thing that you can take.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah. And liposomal C, for instance, is a good C to take. And
colloidal silver.
Colloidal silver.
I mean, we can go on and on. The bottom line is there are tools out there to help support you, but do what you can to support yourself. Set some goals for the new year to improve your health and well-being, and hopefully these things are just a minor annoyance if and when you do have them.
And I'll mention something that Bob and I talk a lot about, is eating the wrong foods could prolong that common cold. So if you're inflamed, and then on top of that, you're eating foods like, how many teaspoons of sugar do you think a common slice of bread has?
Oh my God, it's got to have a good handful.
4.
Yeah.
So one slice of basic bread that you buy, I don't care what the brand is, has 4 teaspoons or tablespoons of sugar in it.
Wow.
And that's a lot of sugar. So the problem with that is if you have a cold and you're eating bread, you're fueling that cold.
You're magnifying it.
You're magnifying it.
Yeah.
So, what you got to do, you got to eat stuff, if you're going to do that don't inflame you. And you got to stay away from sugar and gluten, because, for instance, let's say you eat that thin crust pizza because you're jonesing for it because you're not feeling yourself when you have a cold. Well, the problem with that is that's high in gluten.
Yeah.
Now you're fueling that cold, and it's going to even last longer.
You're just feeding those unhealthy bugs and making them the bugs stronger than you want them to be.
So the better way to do it, if you are going to eat bread, is sourdough or ciabatta, where there's almost little or no gluten. And the way you can tell, like if you're going to eat pizza, eat that slice of Sicilian, because the more dense the bread is, the less gluten it has. And stay away from foods that inflame you. And you think you're doing that and you're eating a lot of foods that don't inflame you, but yeah, I don't know. I would check the nutritional foundation that Bob and I talked about, a few videos ago, and make sure you're not inflaming yourself and eating foods that are inflaming you.
Anyway, this is our first video of 2024. I know it won't be our last.
And hopefully we gave you some good information to help you figure out how to carry out those goals that you have for 2024, whatever they may be.
George,
it's been great.
Been great.
And we'll be back. Hopefully everybody out there enjoyed this video, and have a great day. And
we'll report back to you on our 30-day journey, and I'm out of here along with George.
And we'll see where we're at.
Take care, guys.